Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello to everybody out there in the world. Hope things are going well. Hope your corner of reality is shaping up to be good. After the video on Belladonna's sadness and the little bit lighthearted 1986 Aliens video, I figured I'd do something just to kind of further lighten the mood. We're going to talk about video game cutscene movies. I'm doing this video because I was inspired. I have a really good friend, a dear friend for 40 plus years. She has a very wide interest in things. Very intelligent woman, mother of my goddaughter. However, she's not a gamer. Has no interest in video games, and I understand completely why. As somebody who's a tourist when it comes to gaming, I can understand why people aren't hardcore gamers. I can understand why people are hardcore gamers, like my wife. And I can understand tourists like me who, kind of dabble in the video game world, but aren't hardcore, but don't abstain from them totally. So yeah, and this is kind of what who this video is for, is the people that see things in video games and go, hey, that's cool, but I really don't want to deal with a video game. I'm not a video game player. And cutscene movies are that bridge. There's some people out there in the internet, the YouTube world, YouTube channels, internet, intelligent people, very intelligent people, that unlike myself, they have a working brain, or I have a lump of silly putty between two ears. These people will sit down and go through a video game, take the cutscenes, and if needed, gameplay, and make basically an animated movie. Now, some of the graphics, I will admit, fall way deep into the uncanny valley, and they're just something that's just really off-putting. Kind of the way they did Ian Holm in Alien Romulus, but it's just off-putting the way they did Carrie Fisher in Rogue One and Peter Cushing in Rogue One. Just examples of things getting weird to the human brain. And some of these, I will admit, some of these video games, to sit down and watch a movie can kind of the way, if you're, depending on how your brain's wired, can be just unsettling. But if a lot of them, and if you can deal with the uncanny valley stuff, you've got this library of movies on YouTube that are awesome. And if you can't, you've got to kind of pick and choose. There are some things you can do, some things you don't want to do some things that just weird your brain out. And that is perfectly understandable. There is no shame in admitting that if you watch something and go, that is weird, that does not do my brain well, there's no shame in it. Don't watch it. But getting back to the video games, I have found video games that I enjoy playing because of cutscene movies. Alien Isolation is one of them. Doom 2, the remake or modernization of Doom. There's just all kinds of stuff that, because of cutscene movies, I found games that I enjoy playing. And there are games that I enjoy playing, like the BioShock series, which my wife introduced me to, that I enjoy playing, and I enjoy the cutscene movies even more. Now, then you get into this weird Disney bizarreness. Disney evidently thinks in order for you to enjoy the shows like Ahsoka, The Mandalorian, The Acolyte, Ben Kenobi, what have you, you need a PhD in Star Wars, which I personally think is kind of rude on their part, but it's Disney. They own it. They paid $40 billion or $44 billion or whatever the insane amount. It may have only been 44 million, but you know. But there are things in the video games that are rolled into the series, the Ahsoka series, the Mandalorian and stuff. And if you're not a video game player, there are going to be things that you're like, that's weird. I kind of don't understand. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but we'll roll with it. But if you go back and you look up these cutscene movies, you don't have to play the video game if you're not a gamer. If you're not a gamer, you can look up these video game cutscene movies and watch it, and you're like, oh, that makes sense now. I understand that. I understand this reference that Din Djarin made, or Ahsoka made, or Sabine Wren. You know, you're like, oh, okay, I'm caught up now. Or this insult towards, say, Jabba the Hutt. You're like, that's where that comes from. And like I said, you don't have to play the video game. You don't have to worry about it. You can just roll with it. And it's one of those things only bored people, or not really bored, only creatives, I should say, not bored, but creative people who understand that corporations like Time Warner, DC, Disney, Marvel, stuff, don't care what you know or don't know. They're going to make money. And they don't care how badly they confuse you, as long as you show up at the box office to give them your money. So they sit down and break these video games down and make these movies that encapsulate, that bring you into the fold, that without having to be a gamer. And I think that is a very learnable, very cool thing to do. There are three sites that I visit regularly for video game movies. I'll try to remember to put links for them in the bottom below. But there are video game movies to video games that I have absolutely no desire to play, that I just enjoy watching the movie. There's some on like Assassin's Creed, God of War, Walking Dead movie, or Walking Dead video games and stuff like that are out there, that I just enjoy the entertainment. I have no desire to play the video game, no desire to give, to do that. But the person sat down, the person and or people, it could be a group, sat down and edited this entertainment for me to consume. And for the price compared to a box office ticket or a streaming service, the price is good. Full screen everything, boom, watch it. And it's just one of those things that it's an interesting experience. I don't want to say you have to be anything. You have to be this. I don't like pigeonholing people like that. I don't like pigeonholing things. If it's one of those things where if you want that experience, if you want to go, hey, I like the Lego movies. I have no desire to play the Lego video games. You type it, you go to YouTube, or I imagine any of your YouTube or YouTube clone sites. Type in Lego movie, Lego video game cutscene movies. And there you go. You get the essence of the video game and you understand. So the next time you watch a Lego movie, like a Lego Batman or something like that, and there's an inside joke to the video game or a reference to the video game, you're like, I know that one. You can be Steve Rogers in the Avengers movie. You can be Captain America going, I get that. So yeah, it's a great thing. It's one of those things that people don't know about. You don't see a lot of, I haven't seen a lot of, pushing of this. And I wanted to stick it out there for people to go to see this video, then tell their friends, and grow and encourage these wonderful creators that sit down. And it must take hours and hours and hours, probably days, even weeks, maybe even months, to sit down and give us a movie of a video game. These people should be commended for their effort, because they're sitting in their home, throwing back some Jolt Cola. That shows you how old I am. Throwing back some Jolt Cola, eating some very unhealthy food, and doing this for us to watch, to enjoy. And I commend these people. It's an experience. Like I said, it's an animated experience, and it's worth checking out. And I encourage people to go check these out. And tell a friend. If you like it, tell a friend. Tell 100 friends. Tell 1,000 friends. Tell everybody. Tell strangers walking down the street. But these people are doing movie studio work, or as far as editing goes. The video game is their film. So you gotta go with the quality of what the video game studio put out. But you can, the editing, the fades, the if you needed to add gameplay or this, that, the other thing. These people pour their heart and soul into it, and I think they deserve credit for it. They deserve the acknowledgement for the work they do for us YouTube consumers. It's people that eat feed off the YouTube tit. It's great. So yeah, that's about it. I hope the belladonna of sadness wasn't too rough. That is a rough movie. Aliens, not so much. Action adventure, shoot 'em up. Aliens, acid blood. But hopefully this lightens things up and keeps things going. So until next time, people, be a good human. Be good to other humans. Peace.